In this video, we're going to look at a harder example of expanding. If this is your first video looking at expanding, I'd suggest you go back and have a look at some of the other videos as they're simpler. This one is a little bit more complicated because it involves expanding 4 different terms. If you are comfortable doing this, go ahead and try this out on your own first before we take up the solution. What you're going to be doing is expanding x times 2x plus 5 squared times 9x plus 1. What you might first want to do is realize that 2x plus 5 squared is the same as 2x plus 5 times 2x plus 5. So you're going to have to multiply the x times 2x plus 5 times 2x plus 5 times 9x plus 1. It's up to you which terms you multiply by each other first, so in other words, which set of brackets you multiply out first. And your first set, because you're multiplying 2 terms by 2 terms, so binomial with a binomial, is going to involve FOIL. So the trick of doing first, outer, inner, last, to help you remember which terms need to be multiplied together. Once you've done that, you're now going to, if you collect like terms, have a binomial times a trinomial, so 2 terms times 3. So you're going to have to be careful to make sure you multiply each of the terms in the first bracket by each of the terms in the second bracket. And finally, you can multiply the x out front through everything. Alternatively, you can start by multiplying the x out front through by some of the terms. It's up to you which way you proceed, so go ahead and try this out and we'll continue once you're done. So let's go ahead and have a look at the solution. Let's start by just writing out what it is that we have to do. So as we mentioned, our first step is to realize that 2x plus 5 squared is the same as 2x plus 5 times 2x plus 5. It is up to us which terms we multiply together first. So let's just start on the right hand side, and what I'm going to do is multiply the 2x plus 5 times the 9x plus 1. So I'm going to apply FOIL, so I'm going to multiply the first terms, the outer terms, the inner terms, and then the last terms. Again, what this is FOIL, first, outer, inner, last, a little trick to help you remember which terms to multiply together. So if we go ahead and do that, we're going to end up with x times 2x plus 5, and then we've got, let me use square brackets here for now, the 2x times the 9x, we've got the 2x times the 1, we've got the 5 times the 9x, and we've got the 5 times the 1. So if I go ahead and clean this up a little bit, the terms that I've got in the brackets, I've got 18x squared that comes from multiplying 2x times 9x. I've got 2x that comes from multiplying the 2x and the 1. I've got 45x that comes from multiplying the 5 and the 9x, and I've got 5 that comes from multiplying the 5 and the 1. Now my next step is to go ahead and simplify what I have in this second bracket, because I've got some like terms here. I've got a 2x and a 45x, which are like terms and can be combined. So I've got 18x squared, the 2 and the 45 combined to give me 47x, and then I've got plus 5. So now I have to go ahead and expand again, making sure that I multiply the 2x times everything in the second bracket, and also the 5 times everything in the second bracket. This way I can make sure that I've multiplied everything in the first bracket by everything in the second bracket. So let's scroll down here a bit, and we've still got the x out front. Now we've got the 2x multiplying the 18x squared. We've got the 2x multiplying the 47x. We've got the 2x multiplying the 5. Next, we have the 5 from the first bracket multiplying the 18x squared, the 5 multiplying the 47x, and the 5 multiplying the 5. And I should probably just put brackets around everything to be safe, because if there were negatives involved, it's important to remember the brackets. So now let's go ahead and clean this up a bit. 2x times 18x squared is going to give us 36x cubed. 2x times 47x is going to give us 94x squared. 2x times 5 is going to give us 10x. 5 times 18x squared is going to give us 90x squared. 5 times 47x is going to give us 235x. And 5 times 5 is going to give us 25. And let me stay consistent here and use the square brackets, although we don't really need them. So let me switch back to round brackets. I was using the square just not to confuse them with the round brackets in the previous step. Now let's go ahead and collect like terms. We have several x squared terms, the 94 and the 90, and we have several x terms, the 10 and the 235. So let's go ahead and collect these. So we've got the 36x cubed, 94x squared plus 90x squared gives 184x squared. The 10x and the 235x gives 245x. And lastly, we have the plus 25. Our final step is to multiply the x through by all of the terms. So in other words, make sure we have x times 36x squared, 184x squared, times the 245x, and also times the 25. So final answer then, we're going to get 36x to the 4 plus 184x cubed plus 245x squared plus 25x. And again, just to recap, we could have expanded in whatever order we would have liked. We could have multiplied the x in front by the 2x plus 5 before doing this expansion. We could have done the 2x plus 5 squared first and then multiplied that by the 9x plus 1. The order is up to you, but the key is that all the terms in each bracket multiply all the terms in the other brackets, and so that we expand everything out. Regardless of which way you did this, the final answer works out to be 36x to the 4 plus 184x cubed plus 245x squared plus 25x.